Hey, good afternoon. Pat Zemer here with MagnaWave. Glad to be with you on this Tuesday afternoon for the Tuesday edition of the MagnaWave Office Hours, brought to you on Facebook Live, YouTube, I think, LinkedIn, and I'm broadcasting on Castbox as well, which is a radio type of app. They'll put the link in the chat box here if you'd be interested in following us and listening to us on Castbox as you're driving or whatever you may be doing. It might be a little easier, take a little less bandwidth. So it's YouTube, Facebook Live, I think LinkedIn, and Castbox. So glad to be with you this morning. If you have any questions, simply type them in your chat box, and they will come up, and I'll be able to see them and respond to your questions, whatever they may be. Questions about devices, questions about training, questions about machines, anything that it is that you want to know about, just questions about PEMF in general. If you want to learn more and understand PEMF a little better, please just post your questions. If you'd like to talk to me, text your name to 502-599-9722, 502-599-9722, and I will give you a call back, and we can have a discussion about whatever it is you might want to be asking. And I enjoy doing that because quite often we go deeper. We're able to get further into what you're wanting to talk about, and I can ask questions of you and so forth. Hazel's with us on Castbox. Good morning, Hazel. Let's see here. Let me go to the comment box. We got some comments here. Northern Lights with us. Sophie's with us. MagnaWave Corporate's with us. Kim Richard Russell is with us. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being with us this morning. If you'd be so kind to tap your name in there, that'd be great, or say hello. Hey, Tim, thanks for being with us this morning. So again, if you have any questions, just post them in the chat box there, and I will be happy to address them and give you some information. Something we're working on, I'll give you a little update. We're going to be available on Roku, the Amazon Fire app, and then we'll have some mobile apps on Android and iPhone to where you'll be able to come in and watch various videos in various categories, much like you watch your TV, your streaming TV at home. So we'll be on Roku, and soon we'll be on Apple TV, but we're going to be on Amazon Fire and Roku here very shortly, with a whole list of presentations, programs. The name of is Biohacking Wellness, and we're going to talk a lot of different things about healing and wellness and health and wellness, as well as the MagnaWave applications and the various devices that we're working with to help your health and wellness. So look forward to that. Again, it's Biohacking Wellness. It'll be on Roku and Amazon Fire on your streaming devices. So we're looking forward to that. Okay, Rianne has questions about the LZR. How deep does it go? Can you treat overclothing? Will it help with tendon and muscle pain healing, or just superficial issues? Okay, the LZR goes quite deep, actually, probably 2 to 3 centimeters. Probably something like that in terms of deep penetration into the body. It does not go through clothing. You need to have it, it's light, so you need to have it on your skin or just above your skin. Same thing with hair. It does not penetrate hair as easily like on an animal. So what you do, if you're treating a small animal, you just spread the hair, if you will, and place the light right on the area, and then it will go in and it diffuses as it goes into the tissue. Same thing on a horse. Now, if you got a light area, for example, the inside of the leg, or an area on a horse that is not heavy with hair, you can pretty much go right over it because it will penetrate through that, but just as not as easily as if it's at the bare skin. Great questions. And will it help with tendon and muscle pain or healing, or just superficial issues? All of that. It will certainly aid. Light has a very healing capacity and help pain relief capacity. So it's much like a heat lamp, if you will. But so if you apply it, it will help by virtue of the penetration, all of those types of issues. Very complementary is what we've talked about, and one of the reasons that we're working with the LZR. It's very complementary to MagnaWave. Just gives you a broader scope in how you may approach the tissue and the area. So great question, Rianne. Thank you for asking. Any other questions? Please just put them in the chat box and I'd be happy to take a look at them. Or give me a text at 502-599-9722. Weather is hot. COVID is apparently running pretty strong. It's a lot of information out there. And if you have questions about that, how people are utilizing PEMF around the world to deal with these types of indications and situations, I'd be happy to give you some background on what folks have done. I'll give you some of that as I'm waiting for someone to ask a question or to text in. It's been used a lot. PEMF has been used a lot, as we talk about, for helping to improve blood flow, helping to improve the mitochondrial action and the blood oxygenation. And all of that is good for helping to sustain health and wellness. And where people have had a lot of congestion issues or lung issues related to the flu and various congestion things that they get in COVID, quite often to utilize a PEMF type of device or PEMF to help the flow, help the oxygen, help the blood flow to the area is said to be very beneficial to helping provide comfort and relief in those types of situations, which then again, as we often talk, allows the body to be in a better position to heal itself. We have a doctor that we've worked with and talked with in Mexico back during in the late 1990s when they had the outbreak. I forget what it was. It had the flu outbreak, and he treated hundreds of clients with treating their chests and their back to keep their lungs viable, to keep their breathing in good shape, and along with the other medications that he was utilizing, and had very good results. And we have reached out to the FDA to be maybe work to see what we can do to be on a short list, to be included in some studies, to utilize our therapy for COVID-19 specifically. We have to write a grant, which we're looking for someone to help us in preparing a grant, and to submit to the FDA or to submit to various people who will then help fund the studies that are required to do that. So even though it's a fast track, it's still going to take us a year or so to do that. We didn't know if we'd be able to get them to say, okay, let's try this at this hospital, or let's do this. And there's just a lot of red tape, a lot of things to go through, but we are in fact trying to pursue that along with some other situations for additional studies and additional information that could be found to be beneficial for these types of situations we're finding ourselves in with this particular pandemic and other things that they're talking about. So that's what's going on there, and we hope that it move quicker, but it's going to take some time. Tracy's with us. She's wanting to possibly start my cats and dogs on C60. Is there one of the oils that is better than the other for pets, and what would the dosage be for cats and dogs? I think, Tracy, it would be a taste situation, what they would like. I would put it potentially on a cracker or a piece of bread and let them have it that way. You could dose it on their food. I mean, if to put it on their food, put a few drops, dropper full on their food. Remember that when they discovered C60, what they were trying to do is they were going to give it to these rats and mice to kill them by giving them massive amounts. And so they gave them massive amounts, and it didn't kill them. It in fact made them healthier and stronger and so on and so forth. So your dosage would be, I would say, a person takes 3 dropperfuls morning and night, depending on the weight of your animal. If it's a cat, I would give it a dropperful. Just put it on the food, or a half a dropperful, and see how things go. See how they work, how they feel. And I've often told my story that basically what happened is I went on it for 3.5, 4 months before my next physical, and my blood work was better than it had been in 10 years. And that's pretty well sustained now because I'm on it continually. I'm on it every day, and my blood work has continued to be good. My triglycerides and all that stuff, the diabetic numbers and so forth. I've been pre-diabetic for a long time. That's virtually off the table at this point. And I attribute a lot of that to my taking of C60. C60 because they didn't have it until they didn't have the benefits or the blood improvement until the C60. It had been very consistent for years and years, up and down, and now it's been very good. And Debbie experienced the same thing. We put her on it about 3 or 4 months before her next physical, and her blood work was better than it had been for a good while. So again, Tracy, I think that's a good idea. Do a dropper full right on there. I kind of like the olive oil, and some like the what's the one that we're taking? I forget, but there's 2 or 3 different, and I would just test what you find as to maybe the more tasteless, if you will. They may be more comfortable with that. So that's my recommendation. Give it a shot, and I think you'll be pleased. And we do have some products that Max has been working with for the animal side, that we've worked with on horses for some wound situations, and we're going to be bringing those products into our line as well. So that's been interesting to follow that situation. So let's see, here we go. Tracy's got that. How long after joint injections in a horse can you treat the area? How long after treat the area with MagnaWave? Okay, if they're going into the bursa of the joint, or it goes into the sac, if you will, the joint sac or the bursa of the joint, it's not going to leave that. It's going to go in there and do what it does and help get rid of inflammation. When I started, they would be injecting, I'd be treating full back of horses, and they're injecting the joints. Now, I didn't always treat the joints of the horses. I would be treating the back, the shoulders, the hips, the neck, and that type of thing, giving them relaxation, helping to help their blood flow and so forth. So we were treating at the same time. Now, if you want to treat the specific joint, things have kind of flown through our system and the way people have recommended it. Let the injection go in, let it work for a couple of days, and then come back and treat the joint area if you desire to do that. And you'll see some very good results. There were times, again, in the beginning, and we were learning that they would inject and we would treat immediately. I mean, because the HA that they're injecting and what we're doing are all directed at reducing inflammation and helping giving some pain relief. So we were doing it at the same time. Then over time, we kind of got to the point, well, let's wait 24 or 48 hours, then come back and treat the area specifically. But if you're treating the whole horse, whole upper body of the horse, and not the joint area what they're injecting, treat away. You're going to help the area with good blood flow and good oxygen and all that kind of stuff. You're going to help all of that, but you're not directly on the area. We did have some situations in the beginning where they would be giving injections into a hoof or into an ankle to where it's into the tissue, into the muscle tissue, to kind of block some things. And to do that, well, if we would come back and treat after they've injected that tissue, we could help flush it out. So we learned in those types of situations, let them do their job. Let them inject, let it go into the tissue, let it be used for its job, and then you come back and work with recovery after the event or after the work, whatever it may be. So that's the best way to approach that. So to answer your question, I'd go 24, 48 hours if you're going to treat the joint specifically. If you're going to treat the whole horse, treat away. Julie has a question. Is there a unit similar to the MagMobile system? It is very user-friendly, easy to travel with for humans and horses. The unit offers a timer that can be turned off and have continuous signal to treat throughout the night, for example. As my husband and I sleep on this mat system. Thank you for your time. Okay, we do have the B2 system that I sleep on every night. My wife does as well, and I'll move it. I'll use our mat, and some nights I'll treat my shoulders and lungs. Other nights I'll treat my hip area for my prostate and just back health, and some evenings I'll treat my knees and my lower legs and just kind of move it around. I'm now getting to where we're watching TV or something. I'll place the mat on my pillow for a half hour or so. It'll run for 8 hours, and treat my upper shoulders and my head and back of neck for just good cognitive oxygenation and good situation in the head. So I'm not familiar with the MagMobile system. I'll have to look it up. But we have that those types of systems. If you're sleeping on it overnight, it sounds like a lower power system, which is fine. They work, but to use overnight. Most of our equipment is higher powered, and you use it for shorter periods of time. But like I say, we do have the B2 machine. Now, some of our Pulse Pro devices, and the Julian and the Pulse Pro have timers that can run up to 90 minutes. And so you can use them for a longer period of time, depending on what areas that you're needing to treat and how you want to use it. Normally, when you're treating with a higher powered device like we have, 15 minutes would be about a max treatment. Now, you can do 10 minutes on your elbow and 10 minutes on your back and 10 minutes on your low back and 10 minutes on your knees. You can do that to where you're getting to a longer treatment session. But on any one normal area, 10 to 15 minutes, you achieve the maximum energy delivery of PEMF and the magnetic field that the body is really going to use well. So lower power systems, though, as Julie's talking about, are designed to run for longer periods of time. Many of the devices, it says lay on it for an hour twice a day. Some of them you sleep with overnight. Our B2 system has shorter treatment sessions, and then it has the 8-hour treatment session that, as I said, we use nightly. We have 2 mats in our bed, so we can use them as we see fit, and it works very well. And timer can be turned off, and very similar to what Julie's talking about there. Let's see, Tammy and Mark Miller, 72 hours. Julie, don't know what she means by that. John, hey, Pat, been a while. Hope it all well. Any update on the CE? I think you were with me the last time I gave this. The inspection was scheduled for the 1st of June, actually the last week of May, 1st week of June, kind of overlapping, the 30th through the 5th. And with the COVID, of course, they didn't do zip. And so now they're back. I don't even know if they're back really doing full inspections at this time, but that's what happened. We were going to be inspected again. It was scheduled for the 1st of June for our conversation purposes. COVID stopped everything, and they're working the list to try to get it taken care of. So I really don't have any idea at this juncture. We keep reaching out to ask where we are on the list and when we can get rescheduled for the appointment. But they basically, they were going to be testing all through March, April, May, and June, and ours was in June. So if they didn't do anything, we're probably 3 or 4 months out again to work up that list. So that's where we are there to move down that road, John. I hope that's sorry, but that's we as you know, and as we have discussed, we were looking for something different. We were really excited about having, because everything is done. The ISO is in place. The good manufacturing procedures practices are in place. As you know, they inspected the factory last year, and the company that inspected our factory and several other factories, unrelated products even, did not do the paperwork properly, and then it all had to be rescheduled and set up again, and that's where we are today. Okay, let's see. John, thanks for joining us. John's in Europe, and so it's later in the day with him. Julie asks a question. Hi, Megan. The unit offers battery power as well as plug-in. Dr. Pollock developed for travel, longer treating purposes. Can you provide more info on the B2, please? Sure. I mean, the B2 is an interesting unit. It is suitable for pain relief and relaxation, and it's a frequency device, so it puts out 5 different frequencies, actually: delta, theta, alpha, beta, and gamma. And each one, the delta and the theta, are designed for rest and relaxation. And they'll run for a much longer period of time. And they also are very beneficial because they are a magnetic field. We generate the frequencies that you can hear with the little clicking device that are designed for relaxation. When you get to alpha, which is a more normal mode, that when you wake up in the morning, you may treat yourself with alpha frequencies for a half hour to get ready to go about your day and to be energized to have a good day, is where the alpha comes into play. Alpha is also very good if you're having some back problems. Put it on, put that machine on, sit on it for a half hour on your couch or whatever the situation may be, and it's very beneficial for pain relief, inflammation reduction, that type of thing. When you get into the beta and the gamma, those are more designed for the beta is if I really want to concentrate on something and I do treat myself with beta, it really helps hone in your attention and your concentration. And then gamma is where the monks go for in their mental capacity to be able to meditate and really get deep into the meditation cycles. In the US over the years, we've not done too much with gamma. A lot of people, they feel it takes much more understanding. In the Europe area, gamma is much more readily addressed and approached. And so we do the delta, theta, alpha, beta, and gamma. And the gamma is if you really want to get intense meditation, that type of thing. The beta and the gamma are also fine for some pain relief and inflammation reduction, but they are more intense to make you more focused. So they're going to be more active to wake you, if you will, to fire you up to get into something. So the delta, theta, and the alpha are really the pain relief functions of the device, plus the frequency delivery for rejuvenation, for pain relief and relaxation. I hope that helps a little bit there with what you're talking about. And then they put up the link to go to see the B2 device on the website. So what are your thoughts on treating horses' stifle? Many vets disagree that any PEMF treatment will help with that. Many vets disagree that any PEMF treatment will help with that scenario. Well, that's interesting that someone would say it won't help with a stifle scenario. When I first started, that was a lot of the trainers and a lot of the horse people were saying, well, I think I'm having stifle issues, let's do that. Well, we found a lot of times those issues were actually in the back, in the sacrum, down through the hips, coming to the stifle area. I've worked with veterinarians to be able to show them with the device that there is some sensitivity in the stifles that they maybe need to address with injections or with whatever they do. But if you just get down to the basic situation of the stifle, if there's pain, and if the horse is not reacting and they are, and you're feeling that pain either to palpitation or pain that you can notice when the animals are working, there is inflammation with regard to that, and to treat that area to help with the inflammation reduction and the pain relief would certainly be viable and would certainly be something that I think could be beneficial for the animals. And I can tell you that over the years, there have been plenty of times in my thousands of horses that I've treated all around the country and around the world, we treated the stifle area a lot. And in many cases, we were able to show that there was really something going on. I can tell that story again if need be, but I won't at this right now, but on how I really got involved with that. But to treat that area, for someone to say it's not beneficial when there's pain and we want to relieve the pain, I'm not questioning what they're saying. I'm not a veterinarian, but it is a situation. Now, if it's a particular area in the stifle, the fusing or non-fusing or whatever the different things that can go on, a lot of that is anatomical. And can you be a benefit to that with blood flow and oxygenation and helping things progress the way the docs want them to? I would think that might be the case. But if it's a real anatomical situation, a lot of times all we can do with an anatomical issue is make it better for a period of time, feel better, less pain, relief. But if it's anatomical, it's certainly going to try to come back. So to treat the stifles when you're treating the whole upper body of the horse, I can't tell you how many times I treated these horses and they would say, oh, we're having stifle issues, back issues, they'd get on the horse and go ride and come back and say, I don't know what it was, but it's better. And he's changing leads, or he's paying attention, or he's going over the jumpies, or better range of motion, whatever. To miss an area makes no sense. To treat an area makes perfect sense to me. Now, with that said, and I might as well go here a little bit, when I started, and we had a lot of people treat, if a horse is not having any ankle, feet, knee problems or anything like that, if everything's good, you don't have to treat that. Treat the upper body, because where's that good blood flow going? Where's that good oxygenation going? To the legs. So in essence, we're going to treat the legs over a period of hours, because what we do lasts for hours and sometimes days. You get a day or two of good movement, good flow of blood and everything out of what we're doing. So but you don't have to necessarily treat the foot. Whereas I had plenty of jumping horses that they're getting ready to go to the ring, and I'm treating the feet for 5 minutes on each foot, because they have a lot of compression when they come over those jumps and a lot of rotation when they come into that new artificial turf. They don't slide. If you've ever seen a video when a horse, when his hoof hits, he kind of slides, then he rotates. And some great videos that are out there showing that. But when you come into the artificial turf, quite often you lose that slide. And so the hip, they begin to rotate. Well, that can begin to cause issues. We saw that on the racetrack when they started using artificial turf on the racetracks. The catastrophic events were down, but a whole new area of soreness came, a whole new area of how it affected their shoulders, their ankles, their joints. And so the docs were very busy trying to figure the best way to work with these horses that were running and performing, performance horses performing on jumping and so forth on an artificial type of turf. So a lot of things there. I hope that answers your question that you've asked. What about treating legs and feet after being injected? Okay, again, thank you. We were talking a few minutes ago about injections. It depends on the type of injection and as to when you would go in and what you would do with the treatment. Again, 502-599-9722. If you'd like to visit, we can certainly do that. I'll give you a call back. But the part of the basis, the way a lot of folks talk today, is if they're going to inject, wait 24 to 48 hours and then come back and treat. But you can treat if you want to treat a horse's leg and they've injected his ankle, you could certainly treat the upper leg and the knee and all of that. All you're going to do is help blood flow. You're not going to do anything to negate anything that's gone on unless they have injected into the muscle tissue and you don't want to flush that out. Or if they've been injected into the tissue of the foot, back when they were talking about blocking and doing this and that, you don't want to flush that by just improving the circulation in the area. So it depends on what it is. So understand what the injection is. Talk with the doc. How are you injecting? You're going into the sac that nothing's going to leave the sac, but yet I'm going to treat around the bursa and help inflammation that's outside that's been caused. Can I deal with that? Sure. But again, go over that and talk with your veterinarian and get the best direction that's available to you in the area. Okay. Sophia asked the question, is MagnaWave PEMF considered an essential service? I'm trying to get a practitioner scheduled for my dad in his retirement home in another state and encountering some resistance from the front desk. Well, number one, the factories are considered essential. The devices are considered essential for animal health and for people health in various designs and various features, how they're used and licensed in the various states or in the United States, what class of device they are. But in all, it's a health and wellness device that is used quite often. What you're going to run into in nursing homes and hospitals and various places where they're looking for a specific credential, they're looking for FDA clearance, if you will, or looking for those types of situations, you're going to have a tough time for them to understand and allow you to do that. Now, there are nursing homes that will allow you to bring in a heating pad or allow you to bring something in for the comfort of your relatives. And so this is something that will provide comfort, will provide some rest and relaxation. So if they can understand that's what you're doing, they'll be more than likely to allow you to do it. Are they going to pay for it with insurance? Are they going to turn it into Medicare or Medicaid? No. But that's not the situation there. But it's how you approach the folks. I had a situation in Lexington where there was a person, his wife had a stroke, and they wanted to treat her head and shoulders for cognition, and they got special permission from the hospital. They were big donors, obviously, but they got special permission. and we went to the hospital. There have been folks that have had knee replacements that take their devices right into the hospital and start treating themselves, clear it with their doctors, and away they go to help their recovery through the processes that they're doing. So I would just talk about it. You want it to be a wellness, rest and relaxation presentation, much like a massaging vibrator or something like that. And if they can understand that and see that and experience it, then you may have some luck dealing with the particular nursing home or recovery facility that you're dealing with. But that's how you need to approach it. Great question from the essential situation and standpoint. It's a management decision at that point. There are doctors that are referring clients to us and to other practitioners for various situations, again, knee replacements, scar reduction, and all of that. If they understand what's going on, as you know, we're doing a study at the University of Colorado on concussion injuries, and we're working on that. We're doing some other development with some other studies, and as you know, we have the study at the Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit and the Palm Beach or the Long Beach Veterans Hospital in California, in the Los Angeles area on bed sores. And so we get those things going and coming along. That'll all be very beneficial as well. We have applied for 3 different 510K FDA approvals for our digital devices through our manufacturer, and we're hoping for those to come. Again, everything got slowed down during the COVID-19 pandemic that we're in the throes of today still, and so that has really delayed and changed how some of that stuff will be developed. But at any rate, that's going on, and there's a lot happening in that regard. Let's see. You're welcome. Hope that helps out, Sophie. Any other questions, folks? Just put them in the chat box. I'd be happy to answer them. We got several people with us on Castbox today. That's great. We'd like to grow that area a little more. We thank you for being with us, certainly on Facebook Live and on YouTube. And again, we're working to get the LinkedIn thing figured out so we can do more there. Any other questions, throw them up. I'll be happy to stick around as long as possible to answer those questions. If you don't have any questions, any other questions, and I don't want to just sit here and just talk, as I like to talk, but I don't want to just keep talking. I feel a lot happier when I can answer some questions. Let me see if there's anything I missed. I don't think I missed any questions up here. I'm trying to think. We talked last week. There are some faceplate changes coming to the Pulse Pro devices, and so that'll be interesting to see how that works. And if you have an older Pulse Pro device, there will be a way if you want to update your faceplate. Not necessary, but to update to some of the technology that we're adding to the devices as far as controlling. One of the things that we are doing that we're pretty excited about is that we have the devices now. We've done some technology that when the device is turned off and turned back on, it recalibrates on its own. And so it's always in a perfect calibration situation at a restart. That doesn't mean that electrodes won't wear out. It just means that it just recalibrates with each go, and we're excited about that. And those devices we'll be switching to those devices very soon. It's as we move along down that road. So any other questions, simply post them in the box. I'd be happy to answer them. I'm trying to think, Chris, is there anything else that I need to cover? Well, Elaine is starting to prepare her marketing classes. I believe they start the 1st of August. Is that correct, Chris? 1st of August? 1st of August, and she'll be taking a limited number of folks to have basic 101 marketing, starting your business, getting going. Second level will be, okay, I've got my business going. I need to hire some people, or I need to change my marketing strategy to go into a new area where maybe machine rentals or whatever it may be. Second employee, that type of thing. And then we'll get into September. We'll be having some one-on-one sessions with myself to where we're got real deep into ways that we can really help you as an individual, maybe do some surveys with you and talk to some folks and just help you move down that line in a more in-depth form of development with your business practices. And so we're working hard to do that and move that along. The MagnaCon was incredible. The speakers were good. Folks have used that for the recertification, and we're excited about that. We're looking forward to next year being live again. Probably we're going to learn something. We'll probably, if we're able to, we're going to be live with a live event, and we'll also be simulcasting at the same time to have an online event. There's a lot of folks just can't make it. They can't come into Louisville, or their schedules aren't allowing. So a lot of different things. So we're looking forward to do that. Christine Scheidler asks, you have new machines. Do you ever see trade-ins happening? Of course. There's a couple of ways to approach that. We do have people that will trade in and upgrade to a particular device. Probably the easiest way to do it is to have your device upgraded if you would choose to do that. But if you're happy with what your device is doing, leave it alone. Because I can tell you how many times since 2002, when I started doing this, when you come in and you do something to machines to repair them or to bring them up to like new standards, quite often it's different than what it was when you had it and you were happy with what you had. You liked the power level that those deteriorating or wearing electrodes provided. The more they wear, they let you have a little more power. And so my recommendation to somebody, they say, well, should I send a machine in and have it fixed, or have it gone over? If you're happy and it's working the way you want it to, leave it alone. They have extended warranties, so that's not an issue. And but I don't want, sometimes I've had people send them in, they get it back. Well, it's not as strong as it was. Well, you got to put 100 hours on it to get it back to the level that you had, because it's like breaking in a car or breaking in an engine, or whatever. That's same situation occurs here. So that's my recommendation there. But we do have people contact your sales associate, call the office. Ask for Cameron if you have something that you want to talk about in terms of updating, upgrading, trading. That's all well and good, and to see how we can work with you and help you in that. Let's see, Julie. PEMF is very beneficial for cancer patients as well. My husband and other family maintain normal lab results during chemo radiation treatments while treating with PEMF systems. Thank you for sharing that, Julie. There are many different schools of thought on treating during chemo treatments. In Europe, they do it a lot. Here, we've kind of, we don't want to, it's a broad area when we're trying to provide comfort and relief to people. But so I would discuss that, but that's a very good story that Julie shared, and we certainly appreciate that. We have seen folks, there are some testimonials and webinars out there. Pilar Davila did a webinar with me. You can, Chris Beats Cancer on YouTube, or some places to go and see how people have utilized PEMF with their regular regimens, with their vitamins, with their intravenous vitamin C. Dr. Marty is really big on that, intravenous vitamin C with cancer, with PEMF, that they use all the time with those types of patients. At Hope for Cancer in Tijuana, they use the MagnaWave devices as a daily treatment and regimen for the folks in their facility. And so there's a lot of research there that you can do and understand as to how this can provide comfort and relaxation for your family, friends, clients, whatever the situation may be. Thank you, Julie. Sebastian, representative in Dusseldorf, Germany. Do we have representation there? We do have representation in Germany. I don't know exactly where. Again, if you contact the office or send an email to support@MagnaWave PEMF or info@MagnaWave PEMF, ask your specific area and they can direct you to someone. Or you could write to Cameron at MagnaWavePEMF.com, CAMERON, and he will direct you as well in that area. Provide service come from because most of the people who provide service come from the Netherlands. Yes, we have a lot of activity in the Netherlands, but I do believe there is some activity in Germany. Elaine was going to Germany to do several presentations and have some meetings with folks for a pretty extended time. got stopped because of the COVID, couldn't fly, couldn't go. Now they're back on the calendar looking to do this next year, because we've had a lot of interest in Europe from people. And of course, John is there, John Stevens, to help develop the marketplace in Europe and the Union and the various countries over there. And so we're working to do that, and it's going to be something we have to do. But Sebastian, send that email, and I'm sure they'd be happy to get out to you. 502-599-9722 if you'd like to talk with me or ask a question or have a discussion. I will phone you back. Let me make sure that there's not anything on here. Doesn't look like it. It's quiet. So we've been here about 42 minutes. We're always glad to be here. Any other questions, please post them, and I'd be happy to answer them, take a look at them best I can, and go forward to get you the answers that you're looking for. That's our goal. Our goal is your health and wellness, the health and wellness of your friends, family, and clients, and our goal is to help you do that as efficiently as possible. That's our passion, and we're happy to do it. And that's why we're asking. That's why we're here on Tuesdays to answer these questions. Elaine has her bi-weekly webinars as well, dealing with a lot of women's issues and practitioner questions and answers. And so that's we try to cover all the bases and get you the information that you're looking for. So let's see, nothing else coming in. If you got one, put it up there. If not, we're going to go have some lunch or something here in a minute. It's about that time, certainly. Several people with us again, as I said, have joined us on Castbox. And again, keep an eye out. It's Biohacking Wellness. It'll be on Roku, Amazon Fire. We'll have individual Android and iPhone apps that you'll be able to see the channels on the network, on the TV station, if you will, and you'll be able to select by category. We'll have several different categories, for example, small animals, large animals, biohacking health, alternative medicines, alternative treatments, all of that type of stuff based on various indications that people may have. So we're really looking forward to it. We've had a lot of interest. It's a pretty robust platform, and to be able to be on Roku, where people can watch in the evening on their main TV or smart TV, is interesting and exciting. So we're working on that, and hopefully we can get that ramped up here quickly, so you'll be able to have a look. It sounds like fun. Okay, I don't see anything else happening. No other questions. I'll be back next Tuesday, noon, to answer your questions. If you have questions, send them to support@MagnaWave PEMF, and I will have them, and I'll be able to get to them earlier. Send me a message on Facebook. If I'm not your friend, ask me to be your friend. That way we can talk in that fashion. You can send a message as well, and I'll be happy to answer your questions there. You can find me on LinkedIn under Patrick Ziemer on LinkedIn. And so we're glad to be here. So thanks again for being with me today. Thank you for the questions. I think they were excellent, and I hope I gave you the answers that you were looking for. So wave on to better health. Have a great week, and stay well. Bye-bye.